Ladies and gentlemen, we are live 1 minute and 45 seconds into this special transmission. It, of course, is Thursday night, November 15th, 2012. We have, what is it, a 2-hour transmission that we just completed shooting minutes before we went live. As you know, some nights we go live. Some nights we are taped to air. We're in here beta testing, and we appreciate all the InfowarsNews.com subscribers, all the PrisonPlanet.tv subscribers, everybody that makes this possible. Here's the deal. If you go to DrudgeReport.com, you will notice that the third link in the middle column under Ron Paul's farewell speech is radio talk show host calls for Second American Revolution. And I have indeed called for that. And we have a basic boil down of what I'm calling for in an article that is up at PrisonPlanet.com and Infowars.com. But there is the Drudge Report right there. We can punch up that camera shot. We got a skeleton crew in here because the crew is so amazing. They just always try to do too much. So everybody's in there working on other reports. That third link right there, you click on that link and it goes to our article that we had earlier today with some of this information. We have our new article out that's linked at the top of that. Update, radio host calls for Second American Revolution. And there in that piece, I break down the facts. Now, I shot another video about an hour and a half ago that just went up on our YouTube channel that has the same headline, talk show host calls for the Second American Revolution. Here's why this is so important. The globalists have made all their preparations to attack a states' rights movement because that is the constitutional remedy. That is the Declaration of Independence. That we're not trying to destroy America. America's already been taken over. We want to secede from the New World Order that's hijacked the federal government. So the states have to exercise their power to pull out of the fraudulent compact and then reinstitute it after exercising their power. So it's time for us to stand up, and we have the law behind us. The globalists, of course, will stage false flags blaming us. They will say we're racist, we're terrorists, everything else you can imagine. This is a foreign banking cartel that brags, and in that article, Paul Watson links to all of that, where the globalists, the bankers, the head of the EU, the UN, say they've conquered America, with the video clips of the news announcing we're under global governance. But before we go to this boil-down video I shot just a few hours ago, and then go to the full nightly news that I appear with Jakari Jackson. We've got 2 other guests. I mean, it is such a great honor to work with this team and to work with you out there and to work with everybody else that loves liberty. Matt Drudge, you know, I know is a patriot and cares about freedom, linking to our reports. All of it. This is historical what's happening, and we're going into a globalist takeover. You know, it's not like we just have some regular, you know, corrupt government trying to take over. We have eugenicist New World Order trash. Now, here's my article. We can document Cam shot this. I'm going to read over some of this article that is up at Infowars.com right now that is so vital that you get and retweet and put on your Facebook and get out to everyone you know, so that as secession is being demonized, you understand where that idea comes from. America was born out of secession from the corrupt British Empire. So let's go over this article here. Why the states must secede to save America. Radio host Alex Jones today called for the Second American Revolution. Paul Watson and I wrote this. That's why there's no name on it. Radio host Alex Jones today called for a Second American Revolution led by states who would secede from the federal government and reconstitute the republic under the terms of the Declaration of Independence, Bill of Rights, and Constitution. And the reason I mentioned why there's no name on this is Watson goes, what name do I put on it? Well, I called and recorded, because you're in England, a 5-minute talk on this, and then you transcribed it and wrote some other stuff and added it to your other article. You can put your name on it. He goes, no, I'll just put Infowars.com. Watson has signed his name to the Declaration of Independence worldwide many years ago. So is the rest of my team. And I saw a few comments in here saying, oh, I noticed there's no name on this. Oh, you guys are afraid to put your name on it. And I'm not responding to that because it hurts us. I'm responding to it for that person to understand. So many people say, Alex, you're paranoid. you must be afraid is why you're doing this. No, no. Someone who's afraid says they agree with the TSA sticking their hands down their pants and the private collection agency of the Federal Reserve taking old ladies' houses to pay offshore banks, the IRS. A coward goes along with the system. I love this false casting that we're afraid. Oh, yeah, I storm the Texas Capitol with my listeners. I infiltrate Bohemian Grove. I deal with death threats and government harassment you couldn't imagine, and we're afraid. No, we are the sons and daughters of liberty. And I re-signed the Declaration of Independence today on the show. That's coming up tonight. We're going to show a clip of that. We are here openly signing our name publicly against this tyranny, calling it out, admitting how bad it really is if we have any hope of ever turning this around. We're going into serious bondage run by psychopathic control freaks. Ron Paul called them authoritarian psychopaths yesterday in his farewell speech. That's coming up tonight as well, excerpts of that. If you've studied history, you've studied psychology, you've studied world events, man, we've got the most nasty form of sickos I've ever heard of. And believe me, I wish that wasn't the case. Everything they do is confirming our worst nightmares. So I'm not going to wait for them to go around and bully me into submission, okay? I'm going to do what I've done since I was 11 years old when some bully 4 years older than me started kicking my butt. You know what? You got me down in a headlock on the ground, punching me in the head for no reason when I'm walking home. Your leg's right there. I'm going to bite a big, giant, bloody chunk out of your leg. We're going to see how much you like that. Because here's the deal. I'm not the baddest guy on the block, but you get on me, you're going to get kicked back. You're going to get fight. We're not the ones starting this. We didn't draw first blood or second blood or the 10th blood or the 100th blood. But these bullies aren't going to stop when we sit here and bend over and ask them to give it to us in the keister. These bullies are going to back off when we call their bluff. A year ago, the entire House unanimously voted in Texas to enforce existing laws about TSA groping people's genitals and have them arrested. And the federal government, occupied by globalists, said, we're going to put F-16s in the air and blockade you. Good! Blockade us! Because we don't want a bunch of perverts grabbing our genitals. Call the bluff. And the state of Texas has introduced the bill. They're calling the bluff. It's been announced. Got the state rep on tomorrow. So the issue here, yeah, my mic, whatever, my earpiece is not plugged in and it's not working. So whatever you're telling me is cool. Come on in, dude. We're live. We're ready for the video. Okay, we're going to go to that in a moment. I'm going to read this article here. Now that I'm in here live, we're going. Why the states must secede to save America. Let's go over this. My John Hancock side, I'm going all the way. What about you? The globalists have their little disinformation PR campaigns that Alex Jones isn't real, Alex Jones is this, Alex Jones is that. Hey, you know you're real. You like the tyranny you're seeing? Stand up and say no to it. You know you're good. You're a leader. Take action. I know I'm real. I know what my heart pumps with. Freedom. Let's go over it. Radio host Alex Jones today called for the Second American Revolution led by states who would secede from the federal government and reconstitute the republic under the terms of the Declaration of Independence, Bill of Rights, and Constitution. The call for Americans to rally behind a restoration of the republic and the Bill of Rights comes on the back of burgeoning secessionist movement that has swept the country, with residents from all 50 states submitting petitions to the White House calling for the states to withdraw from the Union and form their own independent governments. And again, the media is giving that attention because that's what they want. It's good to register your complaint, to say, we know you're fraudulent and un-American. We did build this country, not you, not the socialist. But the real power is not to the president to secede. It's like asking Napoleon to stop being a dictator, or Hitler. You go to the states, the legislatures, that's where it's all happening. The petitions have received a combined number of signatures totaling over 1 million in 24 hours. During his nationwide broadcast today, Alex Jones laid out the battle plan for secession, emphasizing the states must first secede from the federal government, which has gone rogue, and then use the terms of the Declaration of Independence to restore the republic, not create a new country. We're seceding from the New World Order occupied feds because we still can hold the states. The feds aren't going to do the right thing, kick the globalists out. They've been captured. We've got to use the redoubts we've got in the 50 states to move. You understand that? And the balkanization that they've used against us becomes our power. Jones stressed that he was calling for a cultural restoration in the spirit of the Bill of Rights. a newly unified America under the Constitution and not a violent overthrow, noting that it was the states that created the Constitution and the federal government in the first place. Yeah, they sell it like, oh, a bunch of racists don't like the black president. Really, nobody called for a secession 4 years ago. It's that he wants socialism and global banker control. Jones noted the only course to restoring liberty was clear: to follow the founding document of the Republic, the Declaration of Independence, wherein it clearly states that it is a right and the duty of the American people, when their government becomes destructive and tyrannical, to abolish and reconstitute it in a form that protects their liberties. We are not calling for secession to form new separate countries. We are calling for secession because the states created the Constitution, Bill of Rights, and the federal government. And the federal government itself has been hijacked by foreign special interests. That link goes to dozens of their quotes and videos bragging how they've conquered us. Now we're a dictatorship run by foreign banks, mainly banking cartels, says Jones. I am calling for people to be educated about how we can secede to restore the Republic, said Jones, warning that the media was attempting to characterize the entire movement as a plot to bring down America, when in fact America has already been captured and taken over by the political and financial elite and offshore corporate special interest, I would add. So you get this article to get the truth out. You engage in war on Facebook and Twitter and all the other systems, your email list, and at work, you print this off. You give this to everyone you know. Now is the time. This is the states putting their foot down and saying, we are going to reconstitute the federal government of the Bill of Rights Constitution. We're going to kick out the bureaucrats, the lobbyists, the foreign criminals, and the Federal Reserve who have taken over, explained Jones. The radio host also put the call out for Congressman Ron Paul to head up such a movement and utilize his vast network of grassroots liberty-loving activists to lead the charge, as well as using his contacts in each state to begin the process of secession in the legislatures. We need to add an S there. Legislatures. I'll have Watson's asleep now. He's 6 hours ahead of us, so I'll get one of the guys. We need to call Nemo. He's already gone home. We need to add legislatures of the states. Legislatures of the several states is what I said. That needs to be added. By the way, I read this right out of my spirit onto the phone with Watson recording it. You understand this? Harvard constitutional law scholar and advisor to Ron Paul, Edwin Vieira, appeared on the syndicated radio broadcast and agreed with Alex Jones' constitutional battle plan, with the Declaration of Independence as the centerpiece of the legal authority. Ron Paul's former congressional chief of staff and founder of the Von Mises Institute, Lou Rockwell, also appeared on the special broadcast and concurred with Jones' strategy that is now that now is the time to launch our offensive and restore the Republic. The right of the people to reconstitute their government if it becomes oppressive and onerous is clearly outlined in the Declaration of Independence, and we break it down. That to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever a form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such a form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Preamble, Declaration of Independence. And the rest of the article goes on for page after page. This is the new Declaration of Independence that is 100% in line with the original. It is our right, our duty, not given by these documents, but defined by these documents. A natural law with the creator of the universe, the basic right to not be slaves that all races, colors, and creeds and religions thirst for. This is history that's happening. I have seen it all line out in the next 3 years in an incredible epiphany that I had based on all my deep research and knowledge last night, that if you execute this, if you get the word out, if others get the word out, as is now happening, this has exploded, we're going to win. I know this was live. I hope we've recorded this to also post this to Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com tomorrow. This is absolutely essential. Ladies and gentlemen, I am only a vessel, as you are, but we must ask God to fill us now with righteousness and strength. We are weak, we are sinful creatures, and I know a lot of you worldly people don't want to hear that because of the fake preachers that make God look bad, but that is the devil's counterfeit and deception. You know there is a spirit world. You know there is a universe around us. You know there is a God of creation. nature's God, the God that created us. We are made in the image of God. And these people, they hate God and want to destroy life. I've studied them. I've seen them. I grew up, rebelled against Christianity because of the corrupt preachers, and then studied the elite, studied the Illuminati, and found out they love the devil. They know the secret. They love death. These people will not rest until they've destroyed us. They did over 100 tests with high-powered hydrogen bombs in the upper atmosphere in the 1960s. This is on Discovery Channel pieces with William Shatner called Trinity and Beyond, trying to blow up the atmosphere and ignite things. And they made weird stuff about Kali and how they wanted to kill us. These people are crazy. They've all got to be arrested. They've all admitted their treason. They've got to be dealt with, ladies and gentlemen. If we love life and love our progeny and love our future, because once you gain knowledge, you know that life is so short, you have a dream of others that will meet and kiss under the trees, and others that will have children, others that will have passions, and others that will have the great animating contest of liberty. And all that matters is that they people the stars. All that matters is humanity go to the next level. All that matters is we not be shuttered by wicked control freaks that are threatened by human power and potential and wish to hurt us. We've got to ask God to fill us now and make us engines of liberty, and God will answer that prayer. You must give yourself to God and good. Just like you must give yourself to Satan to be possessed, you must give yourself to the Holy Spirit and Christ now and ask God to overtake you and to fulfill you, and you will be delivered from this world. Now is the time in the crucible. This is only the beginning. Cast aside your fears of physical death. Fear only he who can kill the soul. We go now to my basic breakdown to recap this information, and then to the full transmission. I salute our crew. I salute you, those that have spread the word, those of you that have been called. You are chosen. Alex Jones signing off live for Infowars Nightly News. Let the transmission begin. Alex Jones here for Infowars.com. Today on my syndicated radio broadcast, I opened the show by saying it would be the most important radio show I've ever done in my 17 years on air, because I knew what I was about to say would send shockwaves across the United States and the world, because I understand the sentiment of the American people, and I understand the criminals that are in charge of the hijacked federal government. I said it is time for the second American Revolution, and I detailed in 3 hours with constitutional lawyer and advisor to Ron Paul, Edwin Vieira, Ron Paul's former chief of staff, Lou Rockwell, and others, a battle plan. And they confirmed and agreed with my plan, which is a constitutional Declaration of Independence-based plan, that it's now time to officially launch the second American Revolution. A cultural revolution. Mao had his communist revolution, cultural revolution. We have our liberty-based constitutional cultural revolution. We have the remedy in the Declaration of Independence, July 4th, 1776, to restore the Republic today. We do not want to secede from the Union to destroy the Republic, but to restore it. We are seceding from the globalist. We are seceding from world government and the mega banks and special interests that Ron Paul talked about yesterday in his farewell address. We are pointing out the fact, the self-evident fact, that foreign mega banks have hijacked our federal government and are bankrupting the country to bring us into economic slavery, as they've done Europe. They're bragging about it. We have an article at Infowars.com that the Drudge Report is linked to with the headline, Talk Show Host Calls for the Second American Revolution, and I lay out in text the plan to use the Declaration of Independence and the state constitutions of nullification to have the state legislatures, if they're not in session in some areas, emergency recalled to point out the warrantless wiretapping, the secret arrest, the NDAA, the bankruptcy course we're on, all the bailouts, all the criminality, and to say we are seceding from the criminal federal government that's itself been hijacked to reconstitute the real republic with the authority of the states and remove the criminals that run this nation, to kick the Federal Reserve and its private shareholders back to Europe, to arrest the criminal lobbyists that have been selling out our nation. It's either that or they're going to bankrupt the country and bring us under economic domination and back that up with the paramilitary system of Homeland Security that is there to absorb the old republic into this empire. Our country has already been taken over. I want to secede back to the republic back to our nation. The New World Order has taken over. We're not fighting just some corrupt politicians and it's a little political issue. We have serious, hardcore authoritarians. Ron Paul called them yesterday, authoritarian psychopaths in control. We know what tyranny is historically. This is the worst case of it I've ever seen. And it's growing and coming to fruition very, very quickly. So the answer is bold offensive with what our forebears gave us, states' rights, to begin the movement. And I want Ron Paul to lead it. We're drafting Ron Paul and Campaign for Liberty. They have all the contacts. They know who the patriots are and the legislatures, the good governors and others, members of Congress. We need to start having big meetings to iron out a Declaration of Independence, a re-upload of America. Wipe out the globalists, kick them out. They're illegitimate. They're fraudulent. Restore the republic. But first, we got to reboot the computer. Reboot the republic. Declaration of Independence 2.0. Go to Infowars.com. Get the articles, the breakdowns. I laid it out today on the radio, 3 hours. Those audio streams are going out. They're posted at prisonplanet.tv. And you get this idea out to your friends and family. Go to the White House website. Do your own petitions to reinstall the Declaration of Independence and to reboot the country, because that will then get media attention. This has gone viral. Let's have it go ultra viral. Alex Jones signing off for Infowars.com. It's going to happen if you want it to. The Second American Revolution, the spirit of 1776 worldwide, Freedom 2.0.